For first time, like if people might not know about it, explain your side of the incident where basically you laughed at the boogeyman instead of showing fear. Were you told to show fear? Like what was for somebody that never heard the story between you and Jim Cornette? What happened there?
Yeah, so I had been to the beginner's class. I
Right.
just got to OVW. I've been there for a month. And I just got promoted to the intermediate class.
Oh, Jim was never there before?
I never met him before.
I mean, okay, so he was there.
He was there somewhere, but he was with the intermediate and the
Gotcha.
advanced class.
Okay.
The advanced class is also the WWE developmental contracted talent at
Gotcha.
that time. So I get to this intermediate class and everyone's like, hey, welcome, you can come watch the show on Wednesday night. The intermediate class is allowed to come to the show, help out, watch the show, whatever. So I came my first time with my daughter and I'm sitting in the audience, but the the intermediate class had a special section that they sat in. And I guess they were supposed to facially sell what was happening in the ring. Well, no one told me, right? So I'm sitting there with my daughter. And I think I may have met Marty earlier in the day. So anyway, he was having it was his debut. He was having a wardrobe malfunction. The horn kept sliding down. Cornette's getting frustrated. And then he turns towards us. My daughter was sitting right in front of me. So my daughter she was 9 or something, 9. And I thought, oh, that's cool. He's going to scare my daughter. So I'm smiling like this is going to be good. She's going to shit her pants. But little did I know he was going to exit out the door behind us. So he made a gesture towards us and Cornette's like from the announce table, he was doing commentary. And he's like, move, show fear. You're supposed to be scared of this guy. Or, he lost it. He just lost it.
Was there fans there too or no?
Yeah. This is a TV taping.
Okay.
So he just whatever. So we moved out of the way. Boogeyman left, and then I thought that was the end of it. Then referee Goose Mahoney came out. It's like he didn't want to hear the answer. He's like, "Were you sitting here?" Because there was a bunch of us sitting there. You wearing all black, and everyone was kind of wearing all black. And he's kind of like, I'm like, yeah. He's like, okay, it's you. And he's like, would you mind coming to the back for a second? And I'm like, sure. I thought I did something they liked.
Right.
And like, I like that guy's facials or whatever. So I get back there, and as I come through the door, he's barreling at me like, you think this is a fucking joke? You think this is a joke? Blah, blah, blah. And and the first thing went through my head, I'm like, if I hit this guy, I'm going to be deported. I'm a Canadian in the United States. I just got my little apartment. And you know what's funny? What went through my head? So I decorated my apartment. I went to Walmart and I bought some end tables, and I went to Goodwill, and I just bought this couch.
Right.
And I put the couch in, and that was like the final piece. My apartment was now decorated. It took me a month or whatever to get all the little pieces in my spare time. And he slapped me. I'm like, damn, I just got my couch. So I'm thinking like, I just got my apartment set up. I don't want to be kicked out of the country now. So I had to suck it up. Yeah, man. He ended up doing even a little paintbrush. So there's a whole hallway of talent.
Yeah, I was gonna say, go ahead.
And they're all looking at me and they're like, oh, bro, sorry, man. Like, they felt bad for me because this guy was abusing his power and taking advantage of me. So the one thing I wanted, and I was in good shape at the time, I was jacked up, and I made sure he knew that, look, your slap isn't moving my face at all. You're a weakling. He says, you're obviously abusing your power. You have no power here. If it comes down to survival, you have nothing on me, right? I wanted to make sure I conveyed that with the look I was giving him and making sure my head wasn't moving. And I spoke, and so he's saying, you think this is a joke or something? I said, and I'm like, I don't even know what you're talking about. I'm just in the audience, And then he's like, oh, you're not selling the boogeyman? I'm like, why would I do that? I don't understand what you're saying. Like, what's your point? You think this is funny? And I'm like, anyway. And then Joey Mercury, I remember, he's like, just shut up, man. I go, okay, that's it. So I went back out to my seat, and my daughter's there, and she's like, Dad, what's wrong? I'm like, something just happened. And then one of the referees told me, you better go. He's still losing it back there. And I'm like, okay, I guess we're gonna go, whatever. But obviously the word got back to the office, and he was gone the next day. And I was hoping, I hope I'm not the guy that, if there's a lot of supporters of Jim Cornette, that I'm going to be the guy that is going to be known that the guy who got him fired or whatever. But luckily, a lot of guys hated his guts because he'd freaked out on a lot of people and taken it too far and embarrassed people. So a lot of guys were pretty happy, and it ended up being a good thing that I was the guy. I didn't get rid of him. He got rid of himself.